All right, let's turn to this now. The new Gauteng MEC for Infrastructure and Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Jacob Mamabolo, conducted a site visit at the Rooiwal wastewater treatment plant in Tshwane. The facility has been criticized for its lack of capacity to purify wastewater, which has resulted in residents struggling with a consistent water supply. The MEC joins me now in the studio. MEC, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on your new portfolio.
Good evening to you, to all the viewers, and thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
One would say you are coming, you were at transport, that was a noisy space. You were at treasury, that was a noisy space. But you're coming into COCTA, even noisier, because you are dealing now with municipalities where the tire hits the tar, so to speak, or the rubber hits the tar, if you like, in terms of service delivery. It's a noisy space because you are dealing with, in some instances, instability because of collisions. You are dealing with dilapidating infrastructure, water infrastructure, electricity infrastructure. You're dealing with citizens who are pressed in terms of the economy, don't have money right now, and you have municipalities that want to raise revenue, and they're trying all sorts of creative ways, including in Johannesburg, where they are putting a particular fixed tariff on those who are putting prepaid meters. So it's a noisy space. How do you come in there and bring some semblance of normality?
Let me just firstly agree with you that the local government, and of course, let's include traditional affairs. And of course, we have got Department of Infrastructure Development, which also look at infrastructure. But I think the most important thing for me is that the way Premier Panyaza Lesufi has reconfigured the departments and the opportunity he has given to me, I find it very complementary in the sense that, let's start with the municipalities. When we talk, the point you're raising about service delivery to the people at that level, at that sphere of government, and of course even at the province, the most important carrier of that, the backbone of service delivery, what enables service delivery is infrastructure. And we now have the opportunity to directly link and get support from the capacity that sits in the provincial government to work with and support municipalities and without taking over those functions. Yeah. So in that, we have an opportunity to ensure efficient and effective coordination, planning, implementation, including support on funding.
Yes.
And of course, let me also say to you, you have raised a very important matter about the economy and revenue. I must say to you that one of the issues that we're going to be looking at, in addition to the basics, infrastructure, one of the issues we've got to look at is to raise the revenue capacity of municipalities, because for them to self-sustain and to be able to meet their obligations, they need revenue. And in the type of economic situation in which we have, and with a depressed economic environment, and the fiscals, there have been cuts on budgets, we have got to find a creative way of building partnerships with the private sector. And just a very important point, if you permit me, is that we are going to be looking at cutting red tape in municipalities to enable investments, to make it easier for people to invest, to improve the investment space in municipalities. Why is that important? It's only in that way that you can attract international and local investors who are critical for revenue to households, to families, to people, to pay municipal services, but also for municipalities themselves. So the issue of local economic development, the investment space, we need to know, for example, how long does it take in the city of Joburg to comply with certain, let's say, licenses that you need to require? What is the turnaround time of days to do that if an investor has to invest in that? What is the red tape you have to go through? Can we cut that? So that we do two things. We go to the basics. And of course, on a medium to long term, change the environment space to make it attractive.
Yes.
In that way, you're dealing with the basics, but you're also looking at sustainability and turning around the economy. We need that to make sure that the economy of this province grows.
Talking of how long does it take? How long does it take to fix the Rooiwal wastewater treatment plant? If I recall, I mean, I've started talking about this particular Municipal issue at least about 15 years ago, if I'm correct. And it's still going on. Even now, we've had Water and Sanitation Department at national level intervening on some of the technical aspects, engineers being brought in. It's still not finished.
So let me say to the viewers that, today we had a very busy day. We visited, of course, Rooiwal, as you correctly said, and we were joined by the city of Tshwane and, of course, DBSA, the bank which is acting as the implementing agent of that project. Their team was there. And we received a briefing about exactly some of the issues that you're raising. And permit me to mention the following, and I hope and hope this becomes clearer. There are short-term interventions that they are trying to make now, and they are working on that to improve the capacity of the water treatment plant to make sure that it can be able to treat, what goes into that plant and make sure that they reduce the areas of non-compliance with the quality of the effluent that comes out of there. But they have given us a deadline that in terms of some of the critical improvement areas, they want to complete what they call phase 1 by next year, March. That is the deadline they've given themselves to make sure that at least the plant its capacity and performance is put to a certain level.
Yeah. What does that mean? March next year, clean water will be coming out of the taps for the residents of Hammanskraal?
I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
Then there's a phase 2 where they want to do a much more bigger, broader, scaling up and, of course, improving the facility. With respect to water coming out immediately, they are engaging Mahali's water authority. And they said to us, the agreement they have with Mahali's is that it will provide sufficient quality water by the 1st of September this year, whilst, of course, the improvements on the water treatment plant in Rooiwal continues. Now, I would say to the viewers and to yourself that whilst I have seen good work being done by DBSA and the level of confidence that the city has on the discussions they've had with Mahali's, but in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to visit Mahali's. And not because I'm a doubting Thomas, but I just need conversations with, and of course, together with the team I work with. We need to have conversations with Mahali's because this date that they've announced, and I've put it there in the public space, that water is coming out on the 1st of September, is very important.
Yeah.
So whilst we believe and trust that, but I think we also need to do a further follow-up on that and be very sure and just get to understand the issues and the facts and the truth around it.
So it's not based on the fact that they're starting work now on the 11th of July, because the collaboration between the Mahali's Water Authority and the Tshwane Metro has been going for a while. So is this work that has been going on for a while, which will culminate on the 1st of September, or they are hoping to do something in the next 2 months, because 1st of September is literally a month
it's just around the corner
or so away.
So that's why we want to deep dive into that, because they seem to be very confident about the date. So the sense we got is they've been doing work around that issue.
Yeah.
And that's why they've given themselves the 1st of September to say there will be not just water, but there will be enough water because we were worried about will it meet the water demand, and is it of the quality and standard that people can say, this is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So
from what you're saying, it sounds like they'll be bypassing the Rooiwal wastewater plant while work is being done there, and be drawing water from a particular source.
That's how they've put it, and that's why we say it will seem that this, if it were to happen exactly the way they are putting it, it will bring great relief, while of course you have got to expand the capacity of Rooiwal and make sure that it's also capable of meeting future demands and whatever that can go into the water treatment plant coming from different sources. But I want to share with you, and of course the viewers, the part that just I think we need to tighten up. Over and above the 1st of September, there's a long-term issue of the project that poses risks.
Right.
The very first one is, so you have got DBSA, which is currently an implementing agent. You have the city of Tshwane, there's national government through the Department of Water and Sanitation, and of course, we are also involved as a province to do oversight. But I got a sense that one of the things that's going to help there, particularly with more long-term beyond next year, March, is that we will just need to protect this project as they expand and grow it and deal with many other issues from what could be, risks to the projects. One of them is we need surety, we need to be certain that the project is fully funded, because the total estimated cost comes to about 4 billion.
Yeah. National said they would have funded, they would have backed the completion of this project.
Well, national government is currently with DBSA, they are there to win the work. But remember that government budgeting cycle happens over 3 years, what we call the medium-term expenditure framework period.
Yeah.
But we need certainty beyond that even if, of course, there will be a review after 3 years, but an institution like DBSA, for example, are they going to be providing the necessary resources? Are they going to make a loan possible? Because if we don't lock that, the political changes, you spoke about coalitions and all that.
Yeah.
So the project has to be locked in such a way that it is a one uninterrupted, undisrupted process end to end.
So the phase that you're talking about, the figure that would have been branded at the time, if I remember, was around 2 billion. Is it more than that?
So today, and you see, that is exactly the worry. Because when we started the conversations, they spoke about 3.5 billion. And then we said to them, look, with inflation, with increase in prices that could happen, inflation expectations, that prices may arise, we have to factor that risk in. So let's round it up to about 4. So because it's a long-term cost. So when you pencil in a cost now, you'll have to build in those type of risks. So it might come to that. So the issue for me is just, so if funding is going to depend on, let's take, for example, the municipality that has had stop and go with the project.
Yeah, it didn't have the money. I don't think it will have the money today.
And of course that. So the issues of governance on this project are quite concerning. But as it stands now, credit to DBSA, which is implementing agent, there's work going on there, and you can clearly get from what they're saying that it will seem like they will meet their target. So for us as the provincial government, is oversight, risk, and the discipline of delivery. Commitments made should be commitment, they deliver all. So that's why just one of the things we need to check.
That's one of the things that there's also this issue which I think directly impacts on you. The Public Protector report on the 28th of June about the Maibuye school. And of course, the Department of Education has taken its part of the flag. Your department needs to take its part of the flag regarding the construction and the faults that were made there.
You'll be aware that this is a project that has been going on over time, and I think when I checked with the MEC of Education just in the last 2 days about this, he said to me there are teaching and learning is happening, and of course there are certain final touch-ups in non-academic sites where they are tightening up things. So it's one of the areas we'll be visiting to go check. But I just want to say to you and the viewers that on the 15th of August, we have already mapped that we want to unveil what we call an infrastructure delivery platform for Gauteng province. And let me explain why that is important. The issues that affect Mayibuye, they also affect many other projects in the province, in the country, and even globally.
Yeah.
We are working on unveiling in that something that we call the project readiness matrix, which is a discipline of delivery. The issues that affect Mayibuye are issues in the built and engineering environment that are compulsory. Like the public protector report talks about the application, that there's no proof that there was an application
feasibility
for
studies,
environmental
impact studies.
Impact studies.
Yeah.
Now, that issue is not a nice to have, and it's not optional. So we want to say to the department and to our stakeholders that we have that there are certain things that when you, let's take land and land quality, land availability, underground rock formation, geotech studies, municipal bylaws, compliance with them. So there are certain things in the delivery process that if you don't comply with them, they're going to come and haunt you back at some point, and you'll not be able to complete the project. So to make sure that we don't have another repeat of Mayibuye, we are going to then say all the projects that we are delivering will have to move in a straightforward, linear way. There's no project that when it has passed stage 1, 2, and 3, it must come back. It's like at a car manufacturer assembly plant. Yeah. You put a car, and then when you're supposed to sell it, it doesn't have a rear mirror, it doesn't have, and then you have to bring it back into production. So it doesn't work like that. Once a project has passed geotech studies, environmental impact assessment, compliance with water license, it shouldn't miss compulsory steps. The second part that we want to look at is the use of IT. Currently, the way we deliver projects is we depend on what the officials tell us. Yeah. Because we don't have access to what they have. So we need transparency, openness, and technology is quite advanced. So you can put the delivery process on digital platforms, give it access to the portfolio committee, give it access to the school principal, to the stakeholders, to see this project is here, and it's going to move here, and who's reporting on it. So the issue of using smart technologies, because we shouldn't, as I often say, we shouldn't deliver infrastructure in 2024 as if we're still building the old Egyptian pyramids. So
I'm looking forward to the August the 15th presentation, because that is supposed to be part of what is happening with the district development model, where a dashboard is put in place and you are able to track.
And of course, going to the municipalities as well.
The process. But MEC, appreciate your time. Let's leave it there for tonight. That's the MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, as well as infrastructure development in the Gauteng province. More news at top of the hour. Stay with us.